news comes first. This is ABC-7 Extra.
Good evening, I'm Saul Saez, and this is ABC-7 Extra. Thank you for permitting us into your homes. As you look out your front window, you likely saw rain clouds over the borderland this weekend. Our ABC-7 Storm Track weather team issued a first alert to let you know how to prepare. But we can only do so much when storm clouds open up and unleash the type of fury we've seen in the last few days. Torrential rains that can overwhelm El Paso's storm drainage system, a deluge of rainfall dumping several inches of rain on the borderland in a short amount of time triggers dangerous flooding. Stormwaters rushing down from mountainous areas to low-lying areas create fast-moving waters with potentially destructive force. Evidence of that was best seen during 2006 floods, where fast-moving waters slammed into buildings, tearing down cement walls, flipping vehicles, and carrying debris for long distances. Since those storms, El Paso Water has been upgrading the city's infrastructure to try to mitigate and reduce the amount of flooding and damage. However, if the past few weeks have proven anything, it's that more work needs to be done. Flooding persists in low-lying areas, bringing back haunting memories of the storms of 2006. Storms like these are all too common these days. A deluge of several inches of stormwater raging down roads, taking anything in its path. What you're watching happened this month, darkly reminiscent for El Pasoans of the 2006 storms. El Pasoans witnessed storm water raging like rivers in West El Paso, upending vehicles, tossing cars and trash bins around like plastic toys. School buses stuck in several inches of storm water. Storm waters also slammed into buildings and sometimes destroying cement walls in businesses like this Blockbuster and KFC. But it wasn't just side streets that fell victim to rising waters.
One of the signature sites of this storm has been the flooding on I-10 at Piedras.
I-10 held standing stormwater, forcing emergency workers to shut the city's main traffic artery down, leaving motorists stranded both on I-10 and in I-10. And what was unable to move became submerged. In 2014 storms, this car became overwhelmed with its driver stuck inside. There were no guardrails installed to keep the driver out of this storm drainage canal. That woman drowned. Much has changed since the 2006 storms. Several retention ponds were strategically constructed to draw stormwater coming down the Franklin Mountains. Guardrails were installed around the same stormwater drainage canal that claimed the life of a driver. Well, while much has changed, flooding is still very much a part of the borderland. This monsoon season has dumped several inches of rain throughout all of El Paso. Not one side of the borderland has escaped the storm's water wrath. This is that same canal on Diana that claimed the life of a driver. Our area received so much rain, the canal became overwhelmed, pouring out onto neighborhoods. Back on West El Paso, Paisano and Executive held so much stormwater, vehicles stalled in the middle of the highway. In the Northeast, this stormwater retention pond on Apollo and Pandora became overwhelmed and stormwater started shooting up like a geyser. El Paso Water stormwater drainage improvements can be seen throughout the city, like this paved canal in the lower valley or larger retention ponds which hold millions of gallons of stormwater. 13 years after, the stormwater utility was created. Stormwater searches for the path of least resistance, creating havoc, causing misery, and paints a picture of work yet to be done to keep water off roads and from seeping into homes. Joining us now is Mr. John Ballou. Mr. Ballou is the President and Chief Executive Officer for El Paso Water. Welcome, Mr. Ballou. El Paso Water says it is balancing stormwater investments needed with keeping fees affordable for customers. Are those fees enough, and how are revenues from those fees being used, sir?
Thank you, Saul, for letting us be here. So in 2006, as you pointed out, we had a big flooding, record flooding here in El Paso. And after that, the city of El Paso established a stormwater utility. And we actually took off in 2008, and we did a master plan. And in 2008, that master plan identified almost $600 million worth of infrastructure needs. And so far, we've done about $180 million worth of repair. And I think not only repair, but replacement and new facilities. So with the investment that has been made, I'd like to point out that I think that we're doing a good job of being cognizant of the fact that this was a new utility, a new component to the bill, and it wasn't particularly popular. So when we first started out, the bills that were in place in 2008 were $4.57. Here in 2021, we are at $4.51. And so you might say, well, John, how could this possibly have gone down? Well, we did have some reductions and we've had some increases, but in balance, it's less than we started off with in 2008. And for that investment, for that small investment out of everyone's monthly water bill, we've been able to do $180 million worth of improvements. And we've seen many things work very well. We have not seen the interstate needed to be shut down. We've seen many areas of town in Northeast that were impacted greatly in 2006, receive a huge amount of rain, but the systems worked and carried away much of that rainwater.
In the minute that I have left, looking back on this month, because we've all seen the rains that we've been having, how challenging has it been for El Paso Water to stay ahead of flooding?
Well, it's very challenging because, of course, we don't know when we start off in the day where the rain is going to fall. We have a forecast that we see, similar to the forecast that you all produce. Ours is a little bit more detailed, and then it shows potential areas of town, but still, you don't really know what's going to happen until it starts raining. And once it starts raining, there's very little we can do until the rain stops. So we start off before the rain in preparation, cleaning drains, cleaning inlets out, making sure everything is functional. And then when the rain happens, we have to sit idle. And then when the rain stops, we go to work pumping water using our Xtra trucks to remove water from the streets.
And put them in retention ponds. We're going to take a really quick break. You're watching ABC-7 Extra. When we come back, I'll ask Mr. Ballou how much more work needs to be done to rid the city of flooding, and more importantly, can our area be flood-free? You're watching ABC-7 Extra, where news comes first.
Academy Sports and Outdoors is your Nike headquarters. We are proud to offer the best and newest Nike apparel, footwear, and sports equipment. From football to baseball, basketball to soccer, and everything in between, Academy is your place for Nike. For back to school and back to the field, head to toe, your home for Nike is Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Unlock a summer of possibilities in a new Chevy. Expand your options and your perspective. Find your next adventure in a new Chevy.
Make no monthly payments for the rest of the summer on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, get 2.49% financing for 72 months and get $3,250 total value on this Silverado Texas Edition.
Grass looks great, Zeus. Hey, could you maybe trim the hydrangea too?
Sure thing, Kevin. You want me to do the box suits as well?
Now, finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Hey, Medusa, let's boogie.
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
Came out and flooded. Our backyard is flooded. The whole street is flooded. This is our first time living here in the Northeast, so this is new to us. But it's crazy. I'm scared.
Why are you scared? What scares you about this?
Everything. I mean, if the neighborhood got flooded, easily our house could have been flooded, you know. We recently just bought a house, and for it to get damaged, well, it's pretty scary.
Welcome back to ABC-7 Extra. I also want to welcome back John Ballou. Mr. Ballou is the President and Chief Executive Officer for El Paso Water. Now, Mr. Ballou, we just heard from a woman who said that she is just struck with fear anytime that she sees some rain coming in her area, a fear that her home will be flooded. What would you tell that homeowner or homeowners in general about their fears?
Okay, so we have, as I mentioned, done $180 million worth of projects, but we still have $600 million worth of work that needs to be done. Yeah. So what I would tell everybody, if they've had ongoing flooding problems, to make sure in advance of the rain that they have sandbags, if sandbags will help. Yeah. Now, we are continuing to work, doing our planning, doing our observation. Every time it rains, we go out and we observe what happened to see what areas need to be protected. Yeah. But whenever you have a rainfall of a significant rainfall, even a new facility that's currently up to standards can be overwhelmed, and that might result in flooding. So it's important to realize that we design to a certain standard. So Mother Nature will always be able to produce a rainfall event that's bigger than the one that our stormwater system was designed for.
So it's hard to stay ahead of it, isn't it, what you're saying?
It is hard to stay ahead of it. And you can't, it's not feasible from a cost standpoint to design a system that would take any kind of rainfall. Those are very, very expensive. And what we're trying to do is be very mindful of the investment that our citizens are making and make sure that we get the biggest bang for the buck. So we go to the problem areas that we've had historic flooding and that we can solve. And we do one of those, well, actually, we do more than one at a time. Right. But we do them and fix them up to a certain standard. And generally, we refer to that as the 100-year event, which is typically like 4 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. But if you have 3 inches of rain in a 20-minute period, like we did this past Sunday, then it's going to be overwhelmed. The system is going to be overwhelmed. But as soon as the rain stops, the water should safely drain off.
Now, you also mentioned briefly about I-10 during our first segment. You mentioned I-10, the I-10 used to be flooded in 2006. It flooded. You since installed or put to work the Storm Gateway project, where you put retention ponds on both sides of I-10. Is that working, or are we still seeing some flooding on I-10 that can cause some issues?
Okay, so on in the area there of the Gateway ponds, that system operated very well. The ponds, in fact, did not fill up. They have a capacity for probably 50, 55 feet of water. We were at 41 feet of water, which is a huge amount of water. But still, that system held out nicely.
Yeah. Are we seeing that some projects are working in one area, storm drainage projects stop flooding in one area, but then it pops up in a different area? Or is it just something that you're trying to catch up, where you're seeing flooding and you're working accordingly to the flooding that you're seeing elsewhere?
Typically, anytime it rains, it can rain in different areas. And those rainfall events, based on the intensity and the location, might reveal areas of flood risk. But in general, our master plan, I think, has cataloged all the areas in town that we need to work on. So it's just a matter of getting the investment done and making sure that we get that work executed, but still being mindful of the fact that this is a significant investment that people are making every month.
Okay, what more work is going to be done as part of your master plan?
Well, we have a huge amount of work that needs to be done. So I'll give you some example areas. So in the area of Sam Snead and Lee Trevino, we are finishing up the first phase of a multi-year effort there. That will result in thousands of properties being mapped out of the floodplain. In Northeast, we're building a large pond by Will Ruth in Dyer. We're continuing to do work on the west side and making some improvements to the Silver Springs area and some channels that we need to reconstruct. But one of the areas that we still have to work on is Doniphan. And Doniphan does experience significant flooding, and it's a complicated system. The International Boundary and Water Commission is going to be completing a levee very close to Doniphan, And until that levee is in place and we know exactly how that's going to work, it's going to be very difficult for us to do anything. But we are continuing to make progress in all areas of town.
One of the areas, the problem areas that we saw just recently, as a matter of fact, was over on McRae. Anything being done to relieve flooding in that area?
So that's a good question, Saul. So on McRae, there is already a system of drains in place, starting at McRae and Wedgwood, McRae and the Gateway, and then carrying that water to the other side of the interstate. That system was put in the mid-70s. It was designed to the standards that were in place at that time. Now, subsequent to that, we did a project upstream where we increased the capacity of one of the holding ponds upstream of that, provided a little bit more holding area. But that area actually functions very well. And in this particular rainfall event, we had more than 3 inches of rain in about a 20-minute time period. So the intersection was overwhelmed. But within a few minutes after the rain was over, that water had drained off and gone to a pond and was safely conveyed.
Got it. You're watching ABC-7 Extra. When we come back, I want to ask Mr. Ballou about the city growing, most especially over on the east side. Are we trying to catch up to try to reduce flooding in areas where the city is just growing too much? We'll ask him that, and I'll be back.
This can't be good.
You've got enough to think about maintaining. Luckily, your Volkswagen is easy. The all-new 2022 Taos has a lower cost of maintenance than its Toyota, Honda, and Subaru competitors. Life's easier in a Volkswagen. Come into your Volkswagen dealer today and lease the all-new 2022 Taos S for just $229 a month.
The Casa Games are here, and at Casa Buick GMC, we're passing the savings on to you.
We're leading the way with personal service that puts you first every time.
Our commitment to you is always burning with incredible offers on every new Buick and GMC.
Get $3,000 off MSRP on a new GMC Sierra.
And we want your car. Come see us for maximum value on your trade-in.
Get a first place price on your next ride at Casa Buick GMC, home of the nice guy. Yeah!
Can you feel it on the back of my tongue? All of the words getting trapped in my lungs. Oh, I gotta let it out.
During the national sales event, get $1,000 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Corolla LE for only $199 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
Think premium can't be capable? Think again. Introducing the first ever AT4 lineup. Premium and capable. That's professional grade from GMC. Or get $4,000 purchase cash on this 2021 Sierra Light Duty Crew Cab Texas Edition. Plus, current eligible GMC owners get an additional $250 purchase allowance.
See your El Paso Las Cruces GMC dealers.
Welcome back to our third and final segment of ABC-7 Extra Sunday Edition. I also want to welcome back John Ballou. Mr. Ballou is the President and Chief Executive Officer for El Paso Water. Thanks again so much for spending your Sunday evening with us, Mr. Ballou. I want to ask you about projects that you still have in mind, and I know that the folks at El Paso taxpayers were pretty much a little afraid or hesitant to pay such a high fee for all the work that's being done. Do you foresee an increase in those fees to take care of more infrastructure issues?
Thank you again. So one of the things that we're trying to do is hold the fee very close to where we are right now, the $4.50 range for a typical residential customer. Now, you may remember that the stormwater utility will be 20 years old in 2028. And at that point in time, we will have paid off our bonds that we initially used to pay for the initial projects, and we'll have an opportunity to do some more big projects and still keep rates relatively the same as we have them now. So I'm not going to say that we're going to hold it at this point, but if we do some increase, it'll be a very small increase from one year to the next.
Thus far, stormwater drainage systems have been upgraded in areas that already been populated that saw a lot of flooding in 2006. And then obviously in 2008, we started the whole project where you started building and improving the storm water drainage system. Is the city growing too fast for you to catch up, most especially the east side? We know that that's growing by leaps and bounds. Are you having challenges there?
Okay, so that's a great question. So, and I'd like to say that the new areas of town are not creating a problem, because as new areas are built, the developers design to a higher standard. So one of the things that was also done in 2006 was the standards were changed. So the developers, when they put in a new neighborhood, they're designing to a higher standard. So for the most part, much of the new areas on the east side and west and northeast are functioning well. So what we're concentrating on is those already built up areas where we continue to have the flooding.
Okay. And so what are some of the projects that you can tell us that are in the near future to try to reduce flooding? And another question that I obviously asked in the first segment, can El Paso ever be flood-free?
Okay, I'll start with your second question first. And neither El Paso nor any city anywhere on the planet can be flood-free. And I'd just like to reiterate that that Mother Nature can put together a storm that will overwhelm any sort of infrastructure that we put in. So we do design to a certain standard, and that standard gets reflected into the rate that we have. So the standard means that if you have a rainfall, generally anything more than 4 inches in a 24-hour period, then we're going to have flooding issues. If it's 4 inches or less in a 24-hour period, our system should be able to handle it just fine. So concerning the question about what we're working on, our big projects right now that we're working on is we're going to have a big pond in the northeast area of Willruth and Dyer to drain water off of Dyer. We're putting in a big system in the vicinity of Lee Trevino and Sam Snead. And we are also redoing some channels that had some failures this recent rain season on the west side. So we're doing flood control work in all parts of town.
Of course, we obviously have to wait for water to recede in order for motorists to get back out on the roads so that we don't want them stuck in any flooding areas. Has the issue been addressed in reference to crews going out to flooded areas with pumps or whatnot to remove water to help waters recede even faster?
Yes, so I would like to take this opportunity to remind everybody to please turn around, don't drown. Don't drive into standing water, especially don't drive into rushing water. So as soon as the rain starts to subside, we have our trucks out, our pump trucks working. We have our manpower out, making sure the drains are open and free of trash. And that's one of the things that I'd like to remind everybody is to please control your trash. If you have a sheet of cardboard that gets out of your trash can in the midst of a rain event, it can completely cover up a storm inlet and create flooding where flooding shouldn't happen. So that's an area where you can help out, but we're doing our part to make sure that the drains and inlets and all of our facilities are clear, and then we have our pump trucks to remove any water that might be standing on the street.
But are you increasing the manpower so that you can respond to those problem areas faster, so we can go in with pumps and remove all that water before obviously having to wait for it to recede? Are you increasing manpower?
We are not increasing manpower, so I think that we're comfortable with the manpower that we have. And once again, you have to understand that if we add more manpower, then that's more money that it takes to keep that manpower in operation. And so we're trying to balance our manpower and our capital improvements versus the $4.50 that people are paying every month.
When do you anticipate your master plan will be finally completed?
Well, our master plan will take us many, many years. So, and then even if we start and do a significant amount of work on, let's say, a 10-year time period, we can't complete it in 10 years and be anywhere near the rates that we have now. If we wanted to do everything within 10 years, that's going to take a tremendous increase in the monthly bill. So rather than do that, we're going to keep working.
So in other words, you don't want to go out to the taxpayer and say, hey, we need to increase it so we can improve your storm drain water system.
Right. We're trying to maintain a balance.
Okay. Well, Mr. Ballou, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us this Sunday evening. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you again, Saul.
And thank you for joining us. I'm Saul Saenz, and this has been ABC-7 Extra Sunday Edition. Good night y buenas noches.